The following was taken from a now deleted forum site and is now archived. The person who wrote this is still unknown. Hey there, whoever's reading this. Recently I found something that I couldn't have expected at all. It all started when I went into my basement to look for my old stuff I had before. There I found my laptop, a Windows 7. As a kid, my parents bought me this laptop for Christmas in 2010. I used it a lot to play games, checking different websites at the time, and way more stuff. Although my favorite site was the official Nickelodeon website. If I remember correctly, I watched a lot of videos like Chaotic, The Mighty Bee, and other shows, but obviously, my favorite one was SpongeBob. I was a huge fan back in the day as it was very entertaining to me, and I loved most of the episodes I had watched, and especially the comedy. Therefore, I had an idea to record the episodes with a screen recorder. The reason why I did it, if I can remember, was so that I could have watched the episodes for free later on, and that I could share some of them for those who needed to watch them for free. Back to what happened recently, I turned on my Windows 7 and it worked perfectly. I went to my files and checked some of my old screen-recorded videos until I found one that didn't look right at all. It wasn't something new from the show, but I think that the site somehow got hacked, as it was an edited version from an episode from Season 2. And honestly, those edits were pretty odd to me. None of what had occurred on the video actually happened on the episode, obviously, and I didn't remember recording that one, so I decided to watch it. As soon as I had opened the video, everything was going fine at first, until at around 2 minutes and 20 seconds when SpongeBob was about to speak. It glitched and had suddenly cut to black. At around 5 seconds, the shot returns, but it was not the same. It had changed to him having a lot of small holes on his face and his clothes being dirty. As soon as I looked at it, it had reminded me of something called Trypophobia, which is why it's the exact title of the article you're reading. It stayed frozen like that for a few seconds and then cut back to the episode. This time, though, in the better part, where SpongeBob woke up and goes to work, with his shoes untied. But at the first time he fell down, the image froze and the audio suddenly sounded like as if my computer had crashed. Although I didn't get a blue screen of death, and when it cut to black, I realized it was only a part of the video. I was relieved because I thought my computer had gotten a virus for a second. However, the same shot from before had returned, but this time it was much darker. The background looked as if the walls were dirty, and the overall ambience was just eerie. The audio sounded as if it were distorted, and you could faintly hear it, though. But since I was alone at the house at the moment I was watching this, I felt like I was hearing something and decided to increase my volume. But then I could hear the faint, distorted audio on the speakers. I wondered if things would get worse at this point, but then not too long after, it returned back to the episode. But this time it was short. It was at the Krusty Krab, where SpongeBob arrived and fell down on the floor, but this time the clip went on for like 3 seconds, before something very worse occurred. Extremely loud, distorted audio was coming out of the speakers. The shot of the episode had also immediately started to glitch like hell. It would distort to the point where the image was barely recognizable. I started to panic and had decided to close the video, but before I could, I got an error from my media player, telling me that the video was corrupted and could not continue. But want to know what was worse than that? I felt like there were footsteps coming from my behind, while I could hear the voice of a woman crying for help. I was shocked. I did not know what to do at this point. I was frozen and I turned pale, and I was afraid to move because I thought there was something inside my house. Look, I was usually not afraid of entities or monsters, but whatever the hell was happening seriously had me really tense. What was worse is that my lights were turned off at the moment, and this was all happening at nighttime. Eventually the screaming stopped, but I refused to get out of the chair. Without knowing what to do, I had decided to close and reopen the video out of morbid curiosity, to see if it would continue or not. But when I was going to do that, I had found a file on my computer that I swear I did not see before. I had decided to open this video file, and it began very strangely. If there's one thing that I was sure about, was that I had not recorded this at all. It was almost as if the file had appeared all of a sudden, and I was afraid I might have possibly gotten a virus. Back to the video, it started with a clip revealing a shot of a dark forest. It was apparently recorded by a woman, judging by the voices I could hear in the video. What was strange is that the voice of the woman on the video had actually sounded similar to what I was probably hearing moments before finding the file. I started to wonder if what I was hearing was a part of the last video I've watched, but it didn't sound like it was coming from the speakers. So I was confused as to what was happening. Again, back to the video, the woman had probably heard something coming from the forest. Suddenly, the camera fell and it cut to black. Around 15 seconds later, another clip of the video showed. The woman sounded like she was panicking and was running as fast as possible, recording everything that was going on. I could hear strange background noises that got louder the more it progressed, until eventually everything glitched out. But not as bad as last time, and everything stopped. After watching the entire video, I was shocked. I had absolutely no idea of what the fuck just happened. I did not expect having this in my old files when I was a kid. I don't remember anything about this, but my theory is that the site was hacked and had recorded what seemed to be one of the hacked videos, or just the only one. The first file could have been something I've recorded, but I'm not sure. The second one, though, was definitely not on my files. I don't remember what any of this was. I had now decided to investigate by doing research on the images and clips. What I found wasn't very nice. So, apparently, on July 23rd, 2010, a woman named Scarlet Munchkin was found dead in a forest named Cherokee, Tennessee. 2 Forest Service guards found her lying down on the floor. Her deceased body was disturbing, as they said in quote, "too many holes." Not only did they find the body, but they also found an old camera next to her. The police agent checked it out, and the only thing they could find was the same old shit of the dark forest that I had saw before in the video. I don't have anything else to say about this, as this is one of the most shocking shit that happened in my life. But if you have any information about this, please comment. And that was Trypophobia, rewritten by femafllo12 and improved by RodrigoJogos. Where do I begin? Okay, review time. This story had me confused out of my mind. It was very, very hard to follow, hard to understand. And, like, there are so many errors here that it's not even funny. Okay, I'm gonna give a... Like, first of all, it leaves answers none. Like, things aren't explained well for the reader to know, like, what is motivated for these things to happen. And part of the reason why is because the grammar, I'm sorry, the grammar is atrocious. Like, there are so many misusages of words that, like, it gets hard to read. I think I stuttered a few times throughout my narration. Like that's how bad the grammar is. I had to basically come up with better sentences in my head to so the person listening to the narration currently can understand what's going on. Because holy shit, like, I'm gonna give a quick example. This paragraph, these two paragraphs right here in the conclusion area. So apparently on July 23rd, 2010, there's a TH after 23, a woman named Scarlet Munchkin, where she was found dead on a forest named Cherokee, Tennessee. 2 Forest Service guards found her lying down on the floor. Not the grass, the floor. Her deceased body was disturbing, as they said in quote, too many holes. Not only they found the body, they also found a old camera near to her. You see my point? Like, I had to correct the grammar in my own head to make this narration somewhat okay. And, like, as for the story in general, it's the only, like, thing that pertains to creepypasta material relating to SpongeBob in this story is the general consent, the concept of it. The trypophobia part. See, the part where, I guess Nickelodeon was hacked, as mentioned in the story, and, SpongeBob has more holes than usual. That's it. That's the only thing that, like, makes it, tries to make it out to be scarier than it's supposed to be. And then, in the conclusion right here, I just want to bring this up real quick. Why would you name the victim Scarlet Munchkin? If anything, that kind of ruins the tension of the ending. It makes it more of a joke than anything. It makes things more humorous than scary. Not only that, but it's really hard to connect, like, the events together between the Nickelodeon website and the murder case. Like, I can understand how the trypophobia connects to both SpongeBob having a bunch of holes and the lady having a bunch of holes on her corpse. However, what motivated the murder? Like, is the murder based off of the hijacking of the Nickelodeon website? Or is the Nickelodeon hack based off of the murder? I don't know. I really don't understand. August 23rd, 2010. 23rd. I'm just gonna give it my final rating and end it here because I can't take the 3 out of 10. I liked the concept I liked the concept of SpongeBob having a whole bunch of much more holes in general, because trypophobia is a very real thing, and connecting it to a character that already has a lot of holes sort of makes sense, but it's done in a way where it's not unnerving or scary at all, and yeah, 3 out of 10. Likewise, if you enjoyed this story, that's fine. We all have our personal opinions regarding these stories. What did you think of the pasta? How would you improve upon it? If you want to give your personal opinion on the story, feel free to comment down below. Negative or positive, whatever. And as always, I will see you all in the next narration. Bless. I'm gonna go take a nap.